It's Tuesday, April 12th, and this is now on HNN. Severe weather hammering parts of the Philippines. We just learned the death toll is rising in the wake of devastating landslides.
It was just a scary moment.
More than a dozen people injured in a Brooklyn, New York subway shooting during a rush hour attack. I'm Elise Preston at the scene with a look at the manhunt and police investigation underway.
Every one of our properties was virtually on a cliff.
The state is investigating on the North Shore after a homeowner moves tons of sand in a bid to protect property.
Hopefully I did Hawaii proud. I love you back home.
All these stories, plus we'll check in on how Bronson Varde did on the American Song Contest. You still got time to vote. Those details coming up on This Is Now. New at noon, HPD is investigating after a 79-year-old man was set on fire this morning near the Chinese Cultural Plaza. Sources confirmed to HNN these details. The attack happened around 8 this morning. Witnesses told police the victim was walking when a man got behind him and set his shirt on fire with a lighter. Bystanders helped put the fire out. Sources say the elderly man was rushed to the hospital with burns on his back. EMS said the man is in serious condition. Meanwhile, police are trying to track down the suspect. Law enforcement sources say he was wearing a t-shirt, jeans, and a blue beanie.
And we'll be tracking the latest developments on that. Good afternoon from the Hawaii News Now Digital Center. Now, the mask requirement for travelers to wear a mask on planes is set to expire on Monday, but we'll see if that gets extended as cases rise in parts of the country. Errol Barnett explains from Washington.
It has been one of the most controversial topics in American aviation during the pandemic and a trigger for violent passenger attacks. The current federal requirement to mask while in transit expires April 18th. But some flyers think it's time for them to decide to mask up or not.
They should have gave the people a choice whether they wanted to wear it or not from the beginning.
I don't really care. I would continue wearing mine.
Most Americans favor an extension. A recent survey finding 6 in 10 support staying masked while traveling. The industry, though, sees things differently.
We need to remove these mandates.
Roger Dow is president of the U.S. Travel Association, which, along with 3 other industry groups, cite economic costs for pushing the White House to end travel mask rules for all.
We have an unpredictable virus with many variants, but we're seeing again and again these variants are less severe.
In their letter, the group cites CDC guidance that the overwhelming majority of the country no longer needs to wear masks indoors. And the White House says the CDC is still determining its next move.
It's a decision made by the CDC, so they will make that decision, and I'm not aware of a decision being made at this point.
Ali Malice is the government affairs rep for American Airlines Flight Attendant Union.
Health and scientific data have to be at the center, at the core of any decision going forward. We all look forward to the day when masks are no longer needed, but until that day, it's really important that we're all cooperating.
Now, the UK may be the canary in the coal mine here. It dropped its travel restrictions last month, including Heathrow Airport losing its mask mandate, only to have British Airways, EasyJet and other carriers cancel more flights out of London than usual, citing staffing shortages due to COVID. Errol Barnett, CBS News at Reagan National Airport.
Need to get you the very latest information now on that attack that happened in New York City today. At least 16 people were wounded, 10 of them with gunshot wounds after an attack on a New York City subway train. This all happened in Brooklyn. That's where Elise Preston is with the latest.
Terrified commuters poured out of a New York City subway train as it pulled into this Brooklyn station moments after a gunman set off a smoke canister inside.
He then opened fire, striking multiple people on the subway and in the platform.
Police say a male suspect who was last seen wearing a green construction vest and a gas mask hit several people before getting away.
They had no caring about the individuals that they assaulted as they simply went about their daily lives.
This 15-year-old was on the train headed to school.
I didn't know what to do. I just got off the train. I stayed by some police officers.
John Ramsey, who lives in the neighborhood, saw people fleeing the station, some of them injured.
I'm mystified as to who would want to, hit this area.
Residents here in New York City have seen a rise in gun violence and overall crime during the pandemic. Good Samaritans sprung into action to help those who were hurt.
We saw New Yorkers in a difficult situation, an emergency, helping each other. That's the subway riders. That's who New Yorkers are.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who's working from home after testing positive for COVID, released a video statement.
We would not allow New Yorkers to be terrorized, even by a single individual.
A law enforcement official tells CBS News authorities have not ruled out terrorism as a motive as they search for the suspect. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
And new at noon, we just got a new reaction from a woman who lives part-time here in Honolulu and also in Brooklyn. Here's what Timo Lee had to say about waking up to this news of the attack.
I woke up this morning and found out about the shooting at Sunset Park subway station. It was so shocking for me, and I feel so bad for everybody who's commuting in the subway around that time, and it's really scary. It's devastated. So I'm supposed to go to the city today, and I was gonna take the subway, but I'm definitely not taking the subway now. Probably gonna take a car. I know a lot of people are not taking the subway today because of what happened.
Again, that was Timo Lee there speaking from Brooklyn. We'll have much more on this story coming up on later editions of H&N, and you can always keep checking those Hawaii News Now digital platforms for updates. Let's move on now to some severe weather that's hitting parts of the Pacific. The death toll from the strongest storm to hit the Philippines this year has risen to more than 40 as rescuers recovered the bodies from villages devastated by rain-induced landslides. Emergency personnel suspended the search for survivors around Baybay City in the central province of Leyte overnight because it was too dangerous to continue. Elsewhere, though, we're told rescuers, hampered by mud and rain, continued using their bare hands and shovels to search for survivors. More than 17,000 people fled their homes as a tropical storm pummeled this disaster-prone region in recent days, flooding houses, severing roads, and knocking out power. We have a story published right now about this on your H&N digital platforms, and we'll continue to update it.
And joining us now is Greta Van Susteren, host of Full Court Press and Hawaii News Now chief national political analyst. Greta, thank you so much for joining us. We want to start with the war in Ukraine. We're seeing reports that the war is intensifying. What is the latest?
Well, Mark, what the latest is that President Putin has said that the peace talks are dead, which, of course, is very disheartening to not only to the Ukrainians and to many Russians, but, of course, to the world. And if the peace talks are dead, that means that he's getting geared up to do something else. Most military analysts will say that he has left the northern area around Kyiv, and what he's doing is he's repositioning his troops, and they're going towards the east and the south with the expectation to start a very fierce, aggressive battle there. Although they have been firing missiles and fighting that area already, people just expect that it's going to get a lot worse in the next few days, although no one knows for sure when that's going to happen. So it has not made a good turn. It continues to make a bad turn.
And with that, we're also seeing a humanitarian crisis unfolding. What are we seeing on that front?
You know, Mark, it's hard to describe it because it goes all the way from people being executed with their hands bound behind their back. They found bodies found with hands bound behind their back. You hear reports that women who have been raped in front of their children. I mean, the public execution that they've had of Ukrainian civilians is just incredible. Dead bodies are seen in the streets. The Russians supposedly have rolled in mobile crematoriums to dispose of some bodies, and presumably to lower the criticism of that it's a genocide by the Russians, so they have a lower body count. But then you've got the problem for the living, the people who don't have enough food, who are cold, who don't have medicine, who can't get out of the areas where the fighting is going on because it's too dangerous, or they can't get on a train or whatever. So the humanitarian crisis is very real. And it's like, you know, it's heartbreaking when you hear about the reports. And I've talked to humanitarian workers on the ground, and I just got back from Ukraine about 10 days ago. It's just that, you know, no words can describe it. You know, it's just no, I mean, the Russians are not fighting another military necessarily. They're also fighting the civilians, people who, you know, before February 24th were just going to work, living their lives, sending their kids to school, doing everything else. Well, now, you know, you've got people that are executed, terrified, freezing, hungry, without food. The list goes on.
Horrifying on so many different levels, and there are so many different aspects to this. How is the war impacting the global economy?
Well, the global economy necessarily has stalled. I mean, it's slowed down, and that's not good. It's because it has a ripple effect all around the world. Look, Ukraine and Russia provide a lot of food for a lot of parts of the world, a lot of agricultural products like in Africa and in the Middle East. So naturally, now those areas are going to have problems getting food. They're going to go to the global market, which of course is going to push up prices because the demand will go up for a smaller supply. You know, here at home in the United States, we've seen some of the effect of it. It's hard to quantify exactly how much, but the White House says that the reason that gas is going up to $4.10 a gallon, that's about, I think, the latest report on the average, is because of the war. Well, the gas prices were going up even before the war, but nonetheless, they are up now, and we now have an inflation rate. The report today is the highest in 41 years. So it's going to, it has an impact on, you know, it's not just us watching what's going on on our televisions in Ukraine, you know, thousands of miles away. You know, it is happening to people's tables. You know, when they go to the grocery store and they go to buy groceries to put on their table, they'll see the price, and that price is linked to instability in the economy, which is linked to, of course, the instability in the global economy.
Such a disaster with so many different ripple effects. Greta, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time and insight. Have a great one.
The suspect in the Hawaii Lower Ridge murder case is set to return to court tomorrow. 23-year-old Juan Barron was extradited last week and made his first appearance in court yesterday. You saw it right here first on This Is Now. He did not say a word as he appeared via video from a holding cell. He is charged with murder and multiple counts of theft. Police say Barron killed 73-year-old Gary Ruby at Ruby's home in Hawaii Lower Ridge, then encased Ruby's body in concrete in a bathtub. Barron was captured in Southern California days after Ruby's body was discovered. Police say Barron confessed to investigators that he strangled Ruby, then moved his body to the bathtub and worked to cover it up. Barron's family is now trying to hire private attorney Michael Green for the case.
I have no doubt that the victim in this case was a really good guy. But, you know, the law affords everybody the right to counsel and make sure that they prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Barron is being held without bail.
An Oahu homeowner took matters into his own hands to shore up property erosion, but now he's ordered to reverse it. Jolani Martinez explains.
Homeowner Todd Dunphy used an excavator to move a ton of sand up Rocky Point Beach to protect his and his neighbor's home.
And I heard a crack the other day and I just went, hey, I'm saving my house. I don't care. I'll take the fine, whatever.
Dunphy says he paid about $200,000 to build up the sand near his home before a state land officer advised him that unauthorized material will need to be removed.
How was I supposed to remove that?
That's for you to figure out.
So what were you guys planning on doing to help us?
We told you to send us a plan. We haven't gotten anything from you.
Dunphy says he took matters into his own hands after a neighboring home collapsed onto the beach in February. Since then, he says the foundation of his home has been crumbling rapidly.
I couldn't walk out of my house. It was a 30-foot drop. It started from this property next door all the way down to the left of me. Every one of our properties was virtually on a cliff.
Dunphy hopes his reinforcement will hold for at least a year. But Chip Fletcher with the Honolulu Climate Change Commission says it could be as temporary as a week.
We may not even see that land last through strong trade winds and the spring high tides that become especially high during the course of the summer. Far more logical is to figure out how we're going to learn to live with water in these locations, either by raising the land and assets or by redeveloping them so that they are amenable to flooding related to sea level rise.
And it's not just homes. Economist Paul Brubaker has done research for the state on which coastal roads will eventually need to move.
So the idea that there's nowhere that they can go is just wrong. But it's inevitable that we have to move the road, move the water supply, and put a damn sewer in there. And that's the public infrastructure role. The rest is private investment.
DLNR hasn't cited Dunphy yet, but says there are no permits for emergency measures in the area, and that property owners may ultimately need to move their homes away from the eroding coastline. Jelani Martinez, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Jelani. And we just got some breaking news in from the Big Island.
Yeah, that's right. Reports of a multi-vehicle accident right on Saddle Road. Now, video started coming into our newsroom about an hour and a half ago. At this time, details still unknown. The extent and number of people involved is unknown, but you can see several emergency vehicles were on scene. We are awaiting more information from Hawaii County authorities, but we've just been told that the roadway has been reopened, so waiting on just a few more bits of information, and we'll post more details on our website, hawaiinewsnow.com.
Thanks for that update, Mark. Taking you live outside now, looking over Kaka'ako Waterfront Park there. Oh man, I'm heading outside this afternoon, my friend. Let's see what the weather's going to be. Billy V is in for Guy at the Weather Center.
Here's what you can expect today for your 7-day forecast today and beyond. East-northeasterly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Breezy conditions, daytime high 83. You can pretty much copy and paste that all the way through the week. Saturday, we'll get a few more showers, trade wind showers as they come through. And then Monday, those winds will go back up to 15 to 20 miles per hour.
And in case you're wondering where our good friend Guy Hoggy is today, he's over in Eva Beach enjoying some LPGA action. He filed this report.
Yeah, the game needs some help though, so I asked a golf pro for some help, and she's an international superstar. This is Amy Cho.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Amy Cho.
Hi. Now she used to be an LPGA pro, but now she's gone on to bigger things. She's got a YouTube channel with over 400,000 followers that she gives golf tips to every day around the world. So Amy, coming back to Hawaii, you must be excited because I seen you last time a year ago.
Yes. Hawaii is an exciting place to come to.
Yeah, so you came with the tour. You have some friends that are playing today, right?
Yes. I'm working for the Leyte Championship to promote and make fun content.
Yeah. So one of the things that you do, obviously, the main thing that you do with your YouTube channel is give people tips, right? So you can help me out today.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd love to.
Okay. So I need help.
Okay. Putting. Actually, when it comes to putting, a lot of people say rock your shoulders, right?
Yeah.
Rock your shoulders. Well, I want to ask you, what part of the body do you use to rock your shoulders with?
Aside from my shoulders, I guess my arms. Right? Is that right? Is that correct?
No, it's actually, you know how you have the six-pack in there somewhere? The top two of those.
Okay.
The core, the top two.
Okay.
So we're going to do this quick drill.
Okay.
Drop the putter and then get your pinkies together so the palms are facing forward.
Okay, I feel awkward already.
Yeah, feel the armpits pinching a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're going to just rock back and forth. Back and forth.
And that's what my putting stroke should feel like?
Yes. Do you feel it in your core a little bit? It's just engaged. It's not moving, but it's engaged, and that's what rocks your shoulders.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and grab your putter. Yep. And then kind of like pinch your armpits by rotating your elbows inwards.
Okay, I got 'em.
Relax your shoulders a little bit. Yes. And then do the same thing. Rock your shoulders.
So that's it?
Yeah.
That's all?
Yeah.
Okay, so I should be able to hit this in because of that?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Let's see it.
And the greens here are very fast. How do you like the golf course so far?
Very fast. The golf course looks beautiful with...
Oh, there's a break to it. I didn't see that. You didn't teach me about break.
It goes right to left.
But it feels really good. I noticed the difference there.
It should feel more connected, and that was really great. So good.
Amy Cho, social media influencer, over 400,000 followers on YouTube. So it's real easy. So we just got to type in AIMEE Cho.
Yes, the channel name is Golf with Amy, but Amy Cho works too.
So you follow the tour around. Where's your favorite place to go so far?
Hawaii.
Nah, really?
Of course. It's so beautiful here.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
I'll take some lessons because I got zero skills.
And Guy sunk a putt on camera, so that's a win right there.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Smooth.
I'll have to check out her YouTube for sure. All right, guys, let's see what the internet is talking about today. And Netflix watchers, listen up. Netflix wants to keep customers happy. The streaming service just introduced new recommendation tools, a double thumbs up button. Yeah, that's right, a double thumbs up button. Netflix already had a thumbs up button, so now they want to double down and do 2 thumbs up, which gives even more feedback to that algorithm, which really suggests you all sorts of things. So double thumbs up if y'all really, really, really like something, and then Netflix, I'm sure, will give you all sorts of recommendations. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're just awful recommendations.
So is this a way to give a 5 thumbs up to Squid Game? Because I'm waiting for the next season to drop.
It's coming. It's coming. What else have you been watching?
Yeah, also trending. Congratulations to Rainbow Wahine basketball star Amy Atwell on getting drafted to the WNBA, the UH sharpshooter, selected by the Los Angeles Sparks at the 27th overall pick. She is only the second player in program history to be drafted, joining Judy Mosley, who had her name called in 1997. That was the first WNBA draft. Atwell is one of the greatest scorers UH has ever seen, winning Conference Player of the Year, holding the record for career and single-season three-pointers. Such a huge and enormous accomplishment. So, yeah, really some amazing stuff right there. Congratulations to her and the program.
And that celebration, I love that.
Epic.
Yeah,
right?
that's a great little social media video of her learning she was drafted.
That looks like an excellent home theater as well.
Yeah. All right, guys. Speaking of theater and performances, Bronson Varde made his debut last night on the American Song Contest. We have a little clip of that and some reaction to his performance.
Got a dream and a lot to say. Got a song, a guitar to play, and all I need's a harmony from you.
I'm definitely going to rally the islands, have people try to vote for your boy. But, you know, I really came into this whole competition without any expectations. I'm just so glad to be a part of this competition and be surrounded by just such amazing artists. And Alan Stone is one of my top artists ever. And I got to sing on the same stage as him. So it's awesome.
All right, and Varde is in 9th place after his performance of For You, based on the jury vote of music industry members. Now, once America's vote is mixed in, if Varde moves into last night's top 4, he'll advance to the semis, along with Monday night's jury pick, Alan Stone of Washington. There are 3 ways to cast a vote, so this is very important right here. 3 ways to cast a vote for Varde at the NBC app, on TikTok by searching American Song Contest, or just go to nbc.com/ASC. That link is posted on our homepage, HawaiiNewsNow.com, as well. So wishing him the best of luck, making all of us proud regardless of the results. Really, really cool.
And that jam was pretty good. Pretty good. So get out there and vote, guys.
And finally, this is the story that I've been waiting.
This is the big story of the week. Everyone's talking about it.
Now, we all know Zippy's makes a fantastic loco moco, but how's this innovation? The loco moco cake. The rice is made out of Rice Krispies. Beef patty and eggs are white cake covered in icing, and the gravy is sweet caramel sauce. $22.75, available only on April 23rd and 24th at all Oahu Zippy's locations. Here's the thing, though. You have to order it in person, so feast your eyes on the loco moco cake.
Everyone is talking about that. I have seen that image reposted more than anything so far this week, I think.
It looks very good. I have to admit, I was surprised that it was like a sweet version, because I would be pleased with just a straight-up loco moco cake with rice and multiple patties, multiple eggs, lots of gravy, and you got to get the side of mac salad.
What would that be made of? All right, guys, that's going to do it for This Is Now on this Tuesday. Mark's going to be with us the rest of the week while Ashley has a few days off. He's going to be back at First at 4 on KHNL. And just one more reminder, vote Bronson. Get those votes out there. We have that link posted for the American Song Contest vote on our website, your H&N digital platforms, HawaiiNewsNow.com. Have a good one.